Okay, guys, so we moved to California. Still grappling with the aftermath of those massive wildfires. And today we mark the 1-year anniversary of one of the deadliest and most destructive blazes, the Camp Fire that burned through Paradise, California. And our Will Carr is on the ground in Paradise and joins us with more. Will, you were right there when those fires broke out. Can you just remind us of what that experience was like?
Well, Kimberly, it is really hard to believe that it's been a year, and you can see that the face of this city here in Paradise is still extremely scarred. This is what's left of the McDonald's. You can see all the equipment that is still charred, the side of the walls here with the brick knocked over. In fact, you still have the pieces of the roof, these shingles just scattered on the ground here. We got up here in the afternoon when the Camp Fire broke out. The fire broke out in the morning. We got up here in the afternoon, flew up from LA, and I've covered a lot of fires over the last decade, and this is the worst fire I've ever seen. It was the fastest moving fire. When we were driving up here, there was a massive plume of smoke up into the air. Like I said, we got up here during the afternoon, and when we got up into the city of Paradise, it was pitch black and everything was on fire. We got into a neighborhood and homes were burning every single minute. Take a look at what we saw. You can see flames shooting out of the roof of this home, and then check out this tree right here. You have flames shooting hundreds of feet up into the air. This entire community is burned to the ground. Everything here is gone. Really hard to describe just how intense that situation was, and it took us days to realize the extent of all of the damage across this area. Thousands of homes that burned, businesses as well as cars, and as you walk along, you can actually still see the signs of everything that happened 1 year ago today. Check out that car in the distance with the hood flipped up, that's charred. In the days after this fire, we were going through the streets and we saw hundreds and hundreds of those cars, and it just reminded you all of the people who had little to no warning about this fire trying to drive out and were surrounded by the fire. It ended up being the deadliest fire in California's history, with 85 people who were killed. A little bit later today, Kimberly, they're going to take 85 seconds of silence around 11 a.m. here to mark a tribute for all the victims. Kimberly.
Yeah, and Will, have you been able to talk to any of the families that live in this neighborhood?
Absolutely. And, you know, a couple things that I want to point out to you that's changed a lot in the last year. You can look over and you can see the traffic light that's on. You'll see some traffic driving back and forth. There are signs of life. There are some people who are living here, but not that many. So you had 14,000 homes that burned across this area. Thousands of people were displaced all across the region. Some left entirely. Some decided to stay in the county. We spoke with one family. They got in an RV and they didn't know what to do. So they started driving across the country trying to figure out where they wanted to live next. They went to 25 states, and the mom tells me that ultimately they decided to come back to this county because her son went to Paradise High School and wanted to finish his senior year this year at the high school with all of his friends. Take a listen to what she told me.
Anytime you're faced with a tragedy, what are your choices? You either get up and move forward, or you just completely give up. And I think for the town of Paradise and for all of us that lived here, we couldn't give up. This is our home.
And a lot of the residents tell us that when they're coming back up here and they're seeing the demolition and they're seeing the foundations of where the homes and the businesses used to be, they will still start crying. They'll still shed a tear when they see all of the destruction. Others, though, tell us that they really have seen signs of progress here, and for them, that's very uplifting. It's inspiring because even if they're not living in Paradise right now, like so many people are not, they do plan on coming back at some point, although that is that's a work in progress. That's probably going to take years before this is actually a town where everybody can live here again. Kimberly.
Yeah, Will, and I just imagine before we go that people might have fear that this could happen again, especially seeing all those dangerous wildfires blazing last week.
Yeah, absolutely. One thing that a lot of people have questioned up here is why they haven't put the power lines underground like you have in other parts of the country. You'll remember, actually, this fire was started by a transmitter that was PG&E's, the largest utility company in the state. As a result of all this, PG&E has started shutting off power this year when there's been red flag warnings and the threat of fires across here. But because of everything that happened here, residents are a little antsy because basically PG&E has just come up and you can see the power poles right here. These have just all been replaced. These were all burned and destroyed a year ago. Today they're back up, and of course everybody here is always worried about the next wildfire. Kimberly.
All right, Will Carr right there in Paradise, California. Thank you so much for joining us.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.